Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm just going to be answering your questions. I did a post on Instagram, I think it was the beginning of the week. So yeah, I'm just going to be answering the questions that you asked me. I got quite a lot here, which is why I've got my laptop down here. So I've kind of had a quick look through them and just grouped them into themes. So there's like two major themes basically about veganism and food, etc. And then about living in Australia and travelling and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to try and not blab on too much and not make the video too long. So let's get into it. So the first question is, how long have you been vegan for? So I've been vegan for about 2.5 years now. It was June of 2015, I believe. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, about 2.5 years. And why did you go vegan? So I saw a lot of like posts on Instagram and stuff, and then I decided to do my research. And then it kind of came down to why would I not? I basically did a lot of research around the health aspects of it and the ethical concerns about eating meat and dairy, etc. And to be honest, after finding what I did find about, particularly about the animal cruelty side of things, I just couldn't not go vegan. I just couldn't see those things as food anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much why. I can do another video explaining it in detail, but that's pretty much the reason why. Did you go vegan after coming to Australia? No, I didn't. I've only been in Australia for about 5 months. But I went vegan about 2.5 years ago. One thing you wish was vegan but isn't? Okay, this is quite a hard one because I don't actually miss anything. And I kind of feel that there's, like, no matter what you want now, there's really good substitutes. In terms of, like, meat and stuff, like, I literally I don't miss that at all. I suppose if I had to pick one thing, probably yogurt. And that is because I can't really eat that much soy. Doesn't really agree with me. Soy yogurt is really, really good, but I just can't really eat it. Mind you, I couldn't really eat dairy yogurt either, but more if I could pick one thing that would actually agree with me would probably be soy yogurt. Yeah, I love ice cream, but the vegan ice cream is so good. Yeah, that's probably it. Favorite breakfast? Probably smoothie bowl, or like acai bowl, like really, really thick smoothie bowl with toppings and stuff. Although at the moment I'm loving coconut yogurt and like chia seeds, chia pudding, that type of thing. So yeah, so that's all the foodie ones. The rest are kind of about Melbourne and my studies and my future plans. So, do you like Melbourne? I absolutely love it here. It is just, yeah, it's the perfect city. I really, really love it. Or would you rather move to another city? Honestly, I've been to quite a few cities, and Melbourne is by far my favourite. Yeah, it just doesn't compare to. I love New York as well, actually, but for living, Melbourne definitely. Tell us about your studies. So, there's a few questions here to do with my studies, but basically, I'm studying human nutrition. My degree is back home. I go to University of Ulster, which is in Coleraine in Northern Ireland. So this is my third year, which is a placement year, and then the whole degree is 4 years. So that is pretty much it about my studies. How did you get the opportunity to go to Australia? So I'm quite lucky because it's sort of organised through my uni. So basically in our third year we have to do a placement, and it kind of works a bit like a job. So there's lots and lots of different placements, I guess, that you can apply for, and you make a CV, you send your CV to the company, and or wherever it may be, research centre, etc. And then if they like your CV, then they give you an interview. You go and do an interview, and then like 1 or 2 people or whatever it might be gets accepted. So basically works like a job. So I got the opportunity to come to Australia because about this time last year I applied for this particular job in the research centre here. And I sent my CV in, got an interview, and then I got accepted. So that was exactly this time last year actually. And then it was just organised from there. And what course are you doing? So human nutrition, answered that earlier. Biggest difference between Australia and Northern Ireland? I guess the biggest difference is probably the scale of things. Anyone that lives in Northern Ireland or that has been to Northern Ireland will know that it is very, very small and very insular. You can travel the length of the country in a few hours. Australia, on the other hand, is absolutely bloody massive. It is huge. Like, I flew from Melbourne to Perth and it took 4 hours. Like, that's not even one side of the country to the other. It's just humongous. I guess another really big difference is the weather. The weather here is just a million times better. A cold day here is like a summer day at home. So that's a pretty big difference. Where are you studying? So I'm guessing that means back home, which is University of Ulster. Favourite thing about Australia? Okay, so I'm going to group this one with the next one because it's favourite experience in Australia so far. So, favourite thing? I don't really have one particular experience or like day, but just in general, like the people here are so friendly. I've met so many amazing people, and everything that I've done with them is just been really, really great. I guess that's like an overriding memory. If I had to pick one thing, I guess the Great Ocean Road in Melbourne or in Victoria is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Pictures just don't do it justice. It's absolutely spectacular. Yeah, I guess that would be if I had to pick one thing. Although like seeing kangaroos and koalas and stuff in real life is just like it's just fantastic. Yeah. But probably my favourite thing is just the people and the weather and just the lifestyle. My computer's dying. Okay, so, this is like a random question put in here, but what camera do you use to take your food pictures? So mainly I use the one I'm filming on right now, which is the Olympus. It's the Tough TG4, I believe. It's a pretty good little camera. It's waterproof, which is one of the main reasons I got it. I wanted one that was like a good camera, but that was also waterproof, but without spending like a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm really pleased with it. Some of the food pictures I take on I have an iPhone 7, but for the majority it's the Olympus. And favourite place you visited? That's quite hard. Probably either Melbourne, like I really love it here, or I really, really love Florida. It just is it's always a great holiday. Yeah, I could never get sick of going there. There's quite a few places that I've really loved. I really loved Venice in Italy, and New York. There's quite a lot of places that I really love, but favourite, probably either Florida or Melbourne. is Australia as expensive as people say? It depends. It's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. People warned me that the food, for example, would be really, really pricey, but I think it depends on how you live. Like vegan food is like the cheapest, like no matter where you are. Like rice is like a kilogram of rice, which isn't the cheapest way to buy it. If you buy it in bulk, it would be cheaper. But like a kilogram of rice is like $250. So like that's like less than £2 if you're from the UK, which is nothing. Like vegetables are pretty cheap. Fruit, particularly in the summer, is really cheap. If you buy what's in season, it's not expensive. In terms of eating out, it can be pricey, but no more expensive than at home. And like the stuff that you're getting is just amazing. That's what I find, the quality of food is a lot better here. So even if it is like a tiny bit more expensive, it's because it's better. But it's generally not more expensive. I think living in terms of like accommodation is possibly a bit more, but if you're living in any city, it's going to be expensive. You can probably get somewhere in the suburbs that is no more expensive than in the UK. Tips and advice for people wanting to work or travel in Australia. I would say it kind of depends on how you want to do it, but personally I really like having a base and then travelling from there. So I've really enjoyed having Melbourne as like my home and being able to go to Sydney, Byron Bay, Perth, etc. from here, but I always love coming back to Melbourne. But some people would prefer just to kind of hop between places. It very much depends on how you want to do it. In terms of working here, you can, if you can't get a student visa, which is what I have, you can get a working visa, which means you can come here for 2 years and work. So you can get money, etc. So that's probably what most people would be eligible for, unless you can get a student visa through your university. In terms of coming to travel here, I think the main thing is that you need to realise how big the country is. Like I didn't realise until I actually came here. It is absolutely massive, and even if you're within a city, like you can't walk from, well, Melbourne's quite easy to navigate, but for instance, if you go to Sydney, like you have to use like either some form of public transport or a car, because you just can't walk from, like, for example, Darling Harbour to Bondi Beach. Like it would take you a very long time. So it's, the scale of things is a big tip. So find some form of transport. The public transport's pretty good though. Would you move to Australia? Yes. I would move to Melbourne. I wouldn't move to any of the other places that I've been so far. I'm going up the East Coast later in February, so I don't know, I might like somewhere there, but at the moment I would move to Australia. It obviously depends on like family and jobs, etc. But I would move, yeah. Future travel plans. Okay, so I'm kind of staying in Melbourne for a while now until February, and then the 3rd of February I am leaving. I'm going up to Cairns, which is like east coast of Australia, but like north, so like quite high up. And then from there I'm going down to Early Beach and the Whitsundays. If you haven't seen them, you've got to look them up because they're so beautiful. So I'm going there, and then I'm going to the Gold Coast, actually Brisbane first, I think, and then Gold Coast. And then from the Gold Coast, then I'm going home. And then next year, once I get home, I'm going to go to Cardiff in Wales. to go and visit Becky, and then possibly another trip over to England at some stage, maybe to London or something. And I'm also going back to Florida next year. And I think that's pretty much all for now. There might be some other trips in there, but that's what I've got planned. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? To be honest, I'm kind of in a place right now where I don't know exactly, and I'm okay with that. I'm really enjoying just seeing where things take me. Well, I'll be finished my uni degree, and I'll be qualified, so I will hopefully be working in nutrition, in some shape or form. I don't really know. I want to say I'll be in Australia, but it depends where things take me. I just feel like there's so many different routes I can go down at the moment, and I'm just letting them kind of pan out and trying not to control it too much. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Did you move to Australia alone? Yes, I came completely on my own, and yeah, it's been fine. Do you miss home? Not really. Well, in the last few weeks I have a little bit. The first, I would say 4.5 months, I didn't at all. I was just so happy to be here, and yeah, I didn't really miss anything from home, to be honest. I miss my dog, but that's about it. Now I've only got a few months left, and I'm starting to not really miss home, but look forward to things about going home. So like going to see my dog, going to see my family, my friends, just like little things like having a bubble bath, just silly things. But I know after like a few weeks at home, I'll want to come back here. So I'm just enjoying it here. Was it difficult to find somewhere to live? Okay, so I'm quite lucky, I guess, in this aspect. My accommodation, because I came through my university, I came on a student visa, so I could live in student accommodation. So I didn't have to find like an apartment or anything. I just live on campus at the university, so that's quite handy. Although it has its ups and downs. You can find apartments for cheaper actually than the student accommodation. So you can find a really, really nice place in the city, so like near the city, so like South Yarra sort of area, for like $200 a week, which is cheaper than the student accommodation. Yeah, I found it quite easy because it was organised, but yeah, it depends on what your situation is, I guess. So that is all the questions. Thank you so much to everyone that asked me questions, and thank you for coming to watch another video. Would love to hear in the comments below what sort of videos you like seeing, if there's anything you'd like me to do or answer, or yeah, I can elaborate on any of these points more if you wish. Yeah, please like and subscribe down below, and I'd love to hear any feedback you have. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!